When it comes to the truth about my wedding, I'm gonna continue lying about it over and over and over again. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm Raphael and I'm here to review episode 14 of The Real Housewives getting married the day after their brother-in-law's wedding. Potomac. So we started the episode off right where we left off with Karen versus Sleepy Charisse. Karen had just gotten up out of her seat and pointed her finger at her and said, if you continue talking about my mother, I'm gonna F you up. Sleepy Charisse, she struggled to get up out of her seat, but eventually she did and told Karen, oh, I wish you would. So now we continue their fight. Karen, she went on to tell her, oh, well, you know what, Charisse, I just want you to know that nobody really gives a fuck about what you have to say or who you are. Nobody really cares about you. We haven't talked about you for years. Charisse, she went on to say, well, you know what, Karen? Nobody gives a fuck about you either. I need a nap. Are we almost done filming here? But nobody gives a fuck about who you are. Nobody cares about you. You're so fake. And I'm like, oh, so now you don't give a fuck about Karen. Now you think she's fake. But just a second ago, the entire season, you've been struggling to trying to be her friend. You've been wanting her attention here, there, and there. You've been basically begging for her friendship the entire season. And now all of a sudden, nobody cares about Karen. Now she's fake. So if Karen was to, have mended things with you and she was to accept you back into her life, would you still feel like this, Charisse, deep down on the inside, or was this whole thing just fake? Like, what's going on? And then Robin and Giselle, specifically Robin has this way of being where she acts like she doesn't know what's going on, and it really annoys me. She was just like, Karen, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Like, she always acts as if she has like the worst migraine. Like, she has a huge headache. Like, what? I just don't get what you're talking about. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you know exactly what she's talking about, Robin. Stop playing dumb. Same thing for Giselle. Giselle and Robin, they only speak Charisse. They don't speak Karen. It only makes sense in their heads when it comes to who the person is talking. If they don't like the person, of course, they're gonna act confused. So I'm like, Robin, whatever. So then Karen, she went on to continue to tell Charisse, oh, well, Charisse, at my mother's funeral, when you popped up, you put your head through the limo like peekaboo, and you told me, oh, well, I'm the only friend here that came in the circle, that came to your mother's funeral. I actually care. And then we flash back to, I believe, Candiace's event for her 1-year anniversary to Chris back on season 5, I believe. And then they show us a scene between Karen and Charisse. And if we all remember, Charisse's scenes that entire season, I believe, they all got cut out. So when I saw this footage, I'm like, what season is this? See, even back then, the producers didn't want you on the show. Now they're trying to force you on us. You did seem a little desperate, Charisse, when you told Karen, oh, well, I'm the only one in your friend group who showed up to your mother's funeral. Like, who says that to somebody else? Like, what? Do you want an award? Do you want a cookie? Like, what do you want for that? Like, oh, hey, Karen, by the way, I just want you to know that I'm the only one in your friend group who showed up to your funeral. Like, where's my sticker? Like, it's pretty pathetic, Charisse. Like, you see, Charisse, this is exactly why you don't have a champagne flute. This is why your champagne flute is empty. It doesn't have any type of champagne. All it has is your hopes and dreams, and that's it. So that was pretty pathetic of her to do. I don't get why she would say that to Karen. Giselle and Robin, they're trying to justify like clout chaser. How is she a clout chaser? I mean, I don't get it. She just showed up to the funeral or whatever, to show her support. I don't get it. And of course you two don't get it. Again, Giselle and Robin, they love playing this whole, I don't understand your perspective. I don't get your perspective. I only get one perspective. That's it. That's their whole game, and it's pretty annoying to watch. Like, you two understand what Karen is talking about, but Karen, she goes on to tell Charisse, you know what you can do right now, Charisse? You can shut your raggedy ass up and shut the fuck up. You are dusty and you are dated. I'm like, damn, not dusty and dated. I mean, so then Charisse, obviously that hit a nerve. So she was just like, hold on, me, dusty and dated, hold on. Well, I'm not the one that's breaking up. Does anybody have a glass of milk? I'm very sleepy. We can only continue filming for like 10 more minutes. I'm not the one who's breaking up homes. You are. You're the one that's fucking a married man with blue eyes. So Karen, well, first of all, everybody at the table was shocked. I'm like, okay, finally, what is 14 episodes? And we finally get what Charisse has been on the show for, right? To expose Karen. Karen, she went on to say, what are you talking about? Blue eyes? He doesn't have blue eyes. He has brown eyes. Imagine if she would have corrected her. I mean, I do believe Charisse that there is something going on, but at the same time, I do feel like Karen and Ray, they have some type of, deal going on, but that's neither here nor there. So Karen, she was just like, what are you talking about? Blue eyes. I don't know what you're talking about. So then in the confessional, Robin, she went on to say, well, I mean, I did hear about this guy with blue eyes that Karen, she was supposedly, sneaking around with. Then they flash over to Candiace confessional. Candiace, she already learned her lesson from Miami, and that whole situation with her and Karen, she was just like, no comment. I have nothing to say. Even though Candiace, she doesn't have to say anything. We already know that she already believes these rumors. Charisse also threw out there that she knows that Karen went to rehab at some point. And Karen, she denied it. She was just like, no, nobody went to rehab. And again, it goes back to what I just said a second ago. Charisse, you were so quick to bring out all these skeletons out of Karen's closet, but yet you were begging for this friendship. You wanted to be cool with her. So again, like, I don't understand it. Were you going to be cool with her? And the second that she did something to bother you or to throw you off, you were just going to reveal it all to the world? Like, was that your plan to begin with, or were you genuinely trying to be her friend? I think not. So then Robin jumps into the conversation again, and she tells Karen, so, wait a minute, Karen, I'm so confused, I'm perplexed, I'm so confused, wait a minute, I'm flabbergasted, so everything that you've been telling Charisse this entire time, has it all been fake and phony? Like, do you not mean it? And I'm like, Robin, honestly, I mean, all the signs were there from the very beginning where Karen told Giselle, I think she told the whole entire group, she wants nothing to do with Charisse. She kept avoiding her peacefully. She was being respectful. She was just like, hey, Charisse, hey, how are you? That's that. She was keeping it cordial, but no, you and Giselle keep hammering away at Karen, trying to, she needs to force this, she needs to accept Charisse into her life. She needs to have this friendship. Karen has told everybody that she doesn't want anything with Charisse 100 times. So of course this entire blowout happened because Karen got tired of both you and Giselle trying to force Charisse down her throat and trying to force her down our throats too, the audience. So if I was you, Robin, I will also be concerned about Juan's allegations instead of trying to, make Karen and Charisse be best friends, because in the words of Giovanna, the snake is your man. So eventually Candiace was like, okay, we're going to table this. We're going to talk about it later. We need some footage for the rest of the episode. So Giselle, she was just like, so what happened to the shaman? What happened to the healing? What happened to it? I thought we were supposed to be all healed up. Yeah, we're about to throw glasses and everything. Charisse, she kept slamming her fist into the plates and everything. I know that the owner of the restaurant, I know they were probably like, around the table, around the corner. They were probably like, wait a minute, hold on, because that plate is 2 seconds away from cracking. And if she breaks my fine china, she's going to have to pay for it. Because Charisse, she kept putting her entire fist onto the plate like, I'm like, Charisse, relax. You're in somebody else's establishment. Like, what's going on here? But Ashley, she went on to say, oh, well, the shaman, it takes time. It takes like 3 to 5 business days for the healing to happen. And I'm like, Ashley, no. If I was you, I would go find that man on the beach and his feather and go ask for a refund, because obviously he played you. So the dinner is over. A couple of plates are broken. So everybody gets out to head back to their rooms, except Wendy, Ashley, and Candiace. They head out to the bar to have a good time, to continue dancing. They were even dancing to Candiace's song, Drive Back, at one point, and even Ashley and Candiace were getting along, and I wish we would have gotten to see a little bit more of that footage, because it seemed like they were having a nice time. But Mia, in the confessional, she goes on to say, I'm so glad that this dinner is over, because I came to Mexico to have a girls trip with a bunch of adults, and the way Charisse and Karen were acting at this dinner table, that wasn't really like adult behavior. And I'm like, wow, that is funny coming out of your mouth, Mia, because let's go back to the first cast trip to Miami, when you were swinging purses at Wendy, throwing drinks at Wendy, trying to get at her, and security was holding you back. I'm pretty sure that was not adult behavior. So now all of a sudden we have to behave ourselves in Mexico. Whatever, save it. So then her and Jacqueline, they're walking down the hallway, and I'm like, okay, what's about to happen? So they go into a room. Jacqueline, she goes on to say, I don't appreciate you telling me that I need to keep my legs closed to married men, because you're insinuating that I'm sleeping with your husband, Gordon. And just like Charisse said in the last episode, nobody said you did. I don't get why Jacqueline is jumping to Gordon. I mean, Mia could be talking about a list of married men, yet you're only talking about Gordon. That's your own. So you see what happens when that guilty conscience will really mess with you. Because that's probably what's messing with Jacqueline. Like, she probably knows that she might or might have not done something with Gordon, and Mia is kind of calling her out on it without really putting it out there. And Jacqueline, she can't take it that it's out there to the public now. I mean, we all thought, at least I did, I thought that she was possibly messing around with Gordon, even before Mia said the whole, oh, keep your legs close to married men comment. So now, Jacqueline, your suspicious behavior now is just kind of, adding the cherry on top that it might be true, allegedly. And even if so, I mean, so what? We all messed around with a married man at one point, right? No? None of you? Okay, fine, whatever. So then Mia, Mia goes on to say, I mean, Jacqueline, I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, what you want me to take back? Like, you want me to take back what? That I said that you were sleeping with married men? I mean, it's true. So Jacqueline, she was just like, can you just put the cameras down for a second? Yeah, no, just put the camera down for a little bit. No, you won't? Okay. Mia, can you just lie and say that I was not sleeping with married men, please? I don't want that out there on camera. And again, I do feel like Mia is actually telling the truth on this. It's just Jacqueline, she doesn't want that out there because obviously she doesn't want her reputation or her image or whatever to be tainted. And if I was you, Jacqueline, I would just own it. Just say, okay, yeah, I slept with your husband. I slept with a married man. So what? It is what it is. Mia, she was just like, you know what, Jacqueline? I'm not doing this right now. I'm not going to go back and forth with you with these lies. So I'm just going to walk away from this. So Mia, she starts walking away. Jacqueline, she was just like, oh man, this is the only camera footage that I'm going to get in Mexico. I need to start a fight. You sold your soul to the devil. You slept with married men too. Mia, she was just like, okay, yeah, I did, but I owned up to it, and you should own up to it too. So Mia, she continues walking away. Jacqueline, she just sees her car payment and walking away. She was just like, okay, what can I do to cause a fight? Oh no, I see the producers walking away. Cameraman, wait, hold on. Mia, you're a bitch. You're a bitch. Haha. Yeah, you're gonna come back in here and fight, right? Mia, why are you leaving? Mia, why are you closing the door? Mia, wait, cameraman, where are you going? And Jacqueline was left there by herself. The next morning, Ashley's birthday activities continue. So Ashley, she has this whole workout thing called Kundalini planned out for everybody on the beach. And it's supposed to be releasing your inner sexual attention. And I'm like, Ashley, are you trying to make everybody come on this beach? I feel like that's what you're trying to do. But I mean, this is Mexico and this is what you want to do for your birthday? Like, who even works out on vacation? If I was Ashley, I would have rented out a yacht in Michael's name with Michael's money. I would have rented out for the whole day, had everybody there for the whole day. We could have filmed us arguing, fighting, throwing drinks, whatever, swimming around, and, having a good time on a yacht in Mexico. Instead, we're on the beach working out. But okay, whatever. It's her birthday, so only her, Giselle, Jacqueline, and Mia, I believe, were there working out. Karen and Candiace, they come out, but they're not participating. They're laying down on a bed. I would have been with them. So Ashley, she starts calling out to them like, oh, Karen, Candiace, are you, Karen, Candiace, are you coming over here? Candiace, are you ignoring me? Candiace, she looks over and she hears her and she was just like, let me put my glasses on. Hilarious. So they start the workout, right? Ashley, she starts to work out. They start thrusting their hips and everything. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? What's happening? Mia, she in her confessional, she goes on to say, I mean, since I haven't really gotten any D lately, I mean, this is like the most experience that I'm getting physically. And I talked to Daddy G earlier, and then we see a little flashback of her calling her husband, Gordon, on FaceTime and showing him the little vibrator that they gave her. And she was just like, look, Daddy G, look what I got. Maybe I'll use it later. So then Gordon, he was just like, no. You know that you're not allowed to use any toys without me. I need to use it on you first. And I'm like, ugh. You freak, but I kind of want to watch. So then Candiace and Karen, they're talking. Candiace was like, so Karen, are your fists okay? Because you were slamming those plates pretty hard. Karen, she was just like, I don't know what you're talking about, Candiace. I was not slamming any type of dishes at all. I was perfectly fine the entire night. I was doing well. And then speaking of, here comes the chaperone, Sleepy Charisse. She comes out with Robin. Wendy, she also comes out. Wendy, she didn't want to participate in this whole activity because she didn't want to get sand in her you-know-what. So Charisse, she comes out. She looks over at Karen, and she tells Robin, oh, You see her? She's such a fake ass bitch. She's such a fake ass bitch. I can't stand her. She's so fucking fake. And I'm like, oh, so now all of a sudden she's fake. And now she's a fake ass bitch. But just a second ago, you were so up her ass, wanting to be her best friend and all this and all that. But now all of a sudden, she's a fake ass bitch. So again, Charisse, your intentions from, trying to be good with Karen or whatever, it was always fake from the beginning. So after the workout, they all get into this van to head out to these things called cenotes. So as they're taking their seats, Mia, she's sitting next to Karen. She starts whispering to her, Karen, I'm so pissed off right now. I'm so livid. Karen, she sees that she's talking about Jacqueline, and she also notices that there's a lot of tension between both of them. Tension that Mia has brought into this friendship with her and Jacqueline, because Jacqueline, she hasn't really done anything to warrant this type of behavior that Mia has done to her this entire season. I mean, I don't remember nothing positive ever coming from their friendship at all. And if there was, I forgot, because Mia has done nothing to Jacqueline but trying to expose her, belittle her, bash her, and embarrass her all the way from the very beginning of the trip in Miami, where she said that Jacqueline didn't bring deodorant on the trip, which, by the way, that is still unforgivable, Jacqueline. You really need to get that together. For future references. If anything, Mia did you a favor, Jacqueline, by falling out with you, because you don't really need that type of friendship in your life if all she's gonna do is try to belittle you, expose you, and embarrass you every 5 seconds in front of the other group of friends, Giselle and Robin, which Mia probably thinks, oh, they're the cool girls. I wanna impress them, so I'm gonna, belittle my actual friends to try to be friends with them. That's all she's doing. And you said it before in Miami, Jacqueline, that if you would have met Mia when you were adults, you probably wouldn't have been friends with her, because all she talks about is her business. Business this, business that, money this, money that. You need to be on my level. And I'm pretty sure that the only reason why you're still friends with her to begin with is because you see that, oh, we've been friends since we were in high school. Now we're adults. How can I just let go of this friendship? Like, it's not going to be that easy. And unfortunately, sometimes you got to grab those pair of scissors and snip, 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 no matter how long that relationship has lasted. And that doesn't go for just friendships. That goes for marriages, relationships, whatever type of relationship you have with other people. Because I feel like sometimes people stay with other people in any type of capacity because, we've been together for a long period of time. I can't just throw it away. I might as well just suffer through it. No. Let it go. So then Karen, she changes focus to Robin and her wedding, right? We all know at this point this wedding is not gonna happen, but okay, whatever. So Karen, she asks Robin, what happened to your wedding veil? The one that we gave you that says bride on it. Robin, she goes on to say, well, I already told you that Mother Nature, she didn't believe in my wedding with Juan, so she blew it off my head. So Karen, she was just like, oh, wait a minute, Robin, you were serious about that. Well, since we're talking about your wedding, do you have a wedding date exactly planned? Do you know when the wedding is? Robin, she goes on to say, yeah, me and Juan, we already have a date planned out. It's a January, it's a February, it's a March. It's like April. But why does it matter? You're not invited. Nobody in this van is invited. So why are we talking about it? I'm like, sure, Robin, sure, whatever. So then Karen in her confessional, she goes on to say, Robin, shut up. Like, Karen is not letting go of this whole fake wedding between Robin and Juan. Like, we already know at this point it's not gonna happen, right? And it gets worse later on in the episode, but we'll talk about it. But you know what's funny? That we always talk about how, Giselle and Robin are obsessed with trying to force Charisse, down Karen's throat. It's always Charisse on Karen, Charisse on Karen, Charisse on Karen. But we never ever talk about the obsession that Karen has with Robin and her wedding. Like, she constantly talks about it. She always wants to bring it up. She always wants to make jokes about it. And yeah, we all make jokes about it when Robin brings it up, but Karen is always going out of her way to bring up the subject first. Like, oh, Robin, your wedding, Robin, your wedding, Robin, your wedding. At this point, Karen, I know you want to say that Charisse is obsessed with you, but I feel like you're also obsessed with Robin and this fake wedding that's never going to happen. It's very apparent that it's not going to happen. But with you, you're just pushing it sometimes. Like, we get it, a joke here and there, but damn, like, enough. So then we get to the cenote, and the cenote, it looks nice. We see people, they're all swimming in it. They're all getting their, their gear on and everything. The guy, he tells them that if you go into the cenote, it's going to bring you a couple of things. Like, it's going to bring you money, love, marriage or something like that, and happiness. If I was Giselle, if I was you, I would have dived into it head first. The second that he would have said it's going to bring you true love, this would have been me if I was Giselle. Vamonos! Head first into the whole thing. But they get in it, they're uncomfortable. The water is kind of cold. I don't really think that they were really enjoying themselves. And then mosquitoes. It was mosquitoes biting them left and right. And then here comes the chaperone. Sleepy Charisse. This was her the entire time. Move over to the left. I'm trying to take a picture in a video. How do you do this? How do kids do this? Is this Instagram? Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, keep swimming. You're doing good. I'm like, Charisse, why is she on this show? She just looks so odd just standing there like by herself and everything. And, you know, again, the mosquitoes were eating them up and everything. I don't know if I've ever done something like this. I feel like I've been to something similar in Puerto Rico, in El Yunque, one of their famous jungles. But I don't know if it was the same thing because there were a lot of mosquitoes and I did get bit there. So, but that was still a fun experience. Candiace, she was getting bit by mosquitoes and all she cares about, is my ass fat? Same mood. But again, they were kind of enjoying themselves, but not really. And that was the activity. Ashley, for your next birthday, you really need to plan something better. So after they're swimming the cenotes, they go to this restaurant to get some food and they sit down to eat. Karen, she starts off the conversation with Ashley by asking her, so Ashley, what's going on between you and Candiace? What's going on there? Because I remember at my one-woman show, you know, the one-woman show that I was only on stage for 30 seconds for, I remember that you brought your friend Deborah and Candiace was not too happy about that. So what's going on between both of you? And it's so funny that Karen, you get so upset anytime anybody brings up Charisse or asks you, oh, so how are you and Charisse? What's going on between both of you? Are you two friends? You get so pissed off then, but yet you're so quick to ask Ashley about Candiace, knowing that it doesn't take much to spark a fight between them. I just find this so interesting. So then Ashley, she looks over at Candiace and she was just like, if Michael was cheating on me with 500 people and you knew one of those 500 people personally, I will appreciate you, Candiace, if you brought that one person to my face so they could tell me out of their mouth, oh, I'm doing this, this, and this with your husband. This is what happened. And that's what I was trying to do with you, Candiace, with Deborah. I was trying to get her to your face so she could tell you what happened between her and Chris. And I'm just thinking, Ashley, bullshit. You know you were trying to cause a scene between Candiace and Deborah. Luckily, Candiace was smart enough not to fall for that and give you what you wanted, which was a moment between Deborah. That's why you were so pissed off at Karen's event. Oh, really, Candiace? Really? You're gonna treat my friend like this? Really? Like, that's so disrespectful. That's so rude. You don't even want to hear her out? You were upset that Candiace was not giving into it and falling for your trap because we all know you. You have a pattern on the show. So again, I wish that I could believe it, but you are not going to fool me twice. Because you already fooled me at the beginning of the season where I saw you come over to Candiace's house and I saw some hope in that friendship. So no, you're not going to fool me again. Maybe. Give it 2 more episodes and maybe I'll fall for it again because it is kind of cute to see them kind of interacting with each other. You know, at the beginning of the episode where they were dancing and stuff together, they do seem like they have a good time and I still have some type of hope for it. I know, I could be foolish. I know I'm stupid, but I have some hope in their friendship, but I just know that Ashley is going to fuck it up again. So then Candiace, wait, first of all, did y'all hear Wendy in the background? Wendy was kind of instigating. She was just like, wow, it couldn't be Eddie. Wow, really? Michael cheating on you. You heard that, Candiace? Wow, okay, wow. So then Candiace, she replied and she was just like, you know what, Ashley? I just feel like, you know, you were in a toxic relationship with this toxic zombie and that's all you know. And I just really hope that in the future, you know, life gives you a good relationship that you don't have to be so paranoid whether they're cheating on you, this scandal you have to be reading on the blogs every other season. You know, you have your clown makeup on because your husband is constantly cheating on you. And hopefully that's not the case in your future relationships. And I was just listening to Candiace and I'm like, wait a minute. I think this sounds like a nice thing. But the more I'm listening, I'm like, wait a minute, is she kind of insulting her at the same time? I was with it, Candiace. And meanwhile, again, Wendy in the background, she was just like, you heard that, Ashley? Wow, she said that all your relationships have been toxic. Just instigating, but I did like the moment between them. So then Ashley, she goes on to explain, well, you know what, Candiace, I'm going to be honest with you. Sometimes, yeah, I did want to get payback with you because the things that you have done to me in the past, they were hurtful. So I was trying to hurt you back. And I'm like, well, finally you said it, Ashley, because she went on to refer to the moment that she had with Monique at her event where she shared that she had a miscarriage on the microphone. So Candiace, she took that information and she took it back to Giselle and she was poking fun at it like, oh, I really don't believe it. Like, I just feel like it was all an act. So I could see why they will both continuously take digs at each other. And just like Wendy said, because Wendy, she wanted to jump in and she was just like, okay. So first of all, both of you constantly hurt each other with the past. Both of you continue digging up the past, and that is their issue. Every time that they try to move forward, one or the other, specifically Ashley, she gets her shovel and she digs it up. She was just like, oh no, I'm gonna dig up all our issues and throw it in Candiace's face. So what does Candiace do? She also retaliates by getting her shovel. She digs out her issues, Ashley, and then she throws it in her face too. And they could never move forward if that's always gonna be a thing. So Wendy, she was just like, we need to just let it go and let it be and move forward and let this be, let this rest. And that's that, because all three of us, we could all have fun together. And that's the type of energy that I want around us. And, it was a very, very, very beautiful moment, especially how Wendy was kind of, coordinating the whole thing between both of them. But I just know, like I said, Ashley is going to end up messing this whole friendship up again. 2 seconds later, I'm already questioning Ashley because she goes off to Charisse trying to be sneaky and whispering to her, oh, Charisse, when you stood up to Karen, I was so proud of you. When you got up out of your seat and you started slamming on those plates and you broke 3 of them, ooh, I was so proud of you. But don't worry, if Karen would have swung on you, I would have gotten up and I would have swung on her too. Don't worry, I got your back. And I'm like, wow, Ashley, wow, wow, wow. Just like that. We were starting, or at least I was, starting to see you in a new light just 2 seconds ago with Candiace. And then boom, you mess it up 2 seconds later. Like, you just cannot be trusted. So then Charisse, obviously, she let Ashley hype her up and she was just like, well, I thought I can, change Karen and turn her to the good side and make her a good friend. But clearly, I can't change a person like her at all anymore. And then in the confessional, she goes on to say that when her dad passed away, that Karen, she barely sent a text message to her. She sent her a text message with like one line, like saying, oh, sorry for your loss. And that was it. And then Karen brought out the receipt on her Instagram. She posted screenshots of her text messages to Charisse from 3 years ago, which, by the way, do y'all keep your text messages from 3 years ago? Like, I delete mine after a couple of days. But obviously, maybe I should start saving them just in case if I ever become a real housewife in the future. Because Karen, she posted these screenshots from 2018 that said in the text message, it was her text to Charisse when her dad passed away. And it was a very, very, very long paragraph. It was like, oh, my condolences. I'm here for you. My prayers are with you and your family. What's the location where I can send flowers to you and your family, etc., etc. It was a really nice message. And then Charisse, she had replied and said, oh, thank you or whatever. Thank you for the condolences. And that was that. So obviously, Charisse, you're lying, because if those receipts are real that Karen posted, and I'm pretty sure that she just wouldn't post that if it wasn't real, I'm pretty sure that you're making yourself look foolish in this situation and trying to, discredit Karen. If anything, you're making yourself look like a bigger fool on this show. But whatever. So eventually everybody starts getting ready. They're all about to go out to dinner. They're all getting ready. They get to this restaurant. They're sitting down at the dinner table. They all start eating. Everybody's taking tequila shots. They're all eating tacos, blah, 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 all this and all that. And then Giselle, usually I kind of don't mind if people start, producing scenes here and there, if they do it underneath the radar. But Giselle, she was just so obvious this episode, this scene specifically, and it was very annoying to watch her and Robin, but mostly her. She goes on to say, so, I know that we're all eating, we're all having a good time. And again, they were all having a good time and enjoying each other's company. And she just had to ruin it. Instead of the drama being organic, she has to, what's the word called? Manufacture it? Sorry, it's a big word, but she has to, make this whole thing up. And she was just like, you know what, Karen, I'm really bothered. I'm really bothered by how Charisse was treated last night. I really don't like how you treated her. It was very disrespectful. I couldn't sleep all night. I just kept thinking in my bed. I kept tossing and turning. I actually called Jamal Bryant to calm me down and everything because I was very upset of how you treated Charisse. And I'm like, Giselle, if only you would have had the same energy towards Mia. Like, I'm pretty sure that you slept like a baby that night where Mia swung her purse and she threw her margarita at Wendy. I'm pretty sure you didn't care then. But now all of a sudden we have to care about Charisse and what happened to her. Okay, whatever. So then Karen, she was just like, not right now, Giselle. I don't know what you're talking about. Let me enjoy my tacos. I really don't want to talk about this right now. So Giselle, she continues on, and Giselle, the audacity, because Giselle, she goes on to say, oh, well, I just really, I don't get what the problem is. I just feel like if there's going to be one queen of Potomac, that queen is going to be Charisse. And I'm like, Queen of Potomac? Oh, Giselle, you jumped the ship with this one. Like what? First of all, let's go back to Robin. We'll get back to Giselle, but let's go back to Robin because Robin, I forgot to mention how Robin, she dropped the bomb and she was just like, oh, I was thinking of not having a wedding anymore. Everybody was just like, oh, Candiace was like, oh, yeah, are you serious? And then she also goes on to say, oh, no, I meant a traditional wedding. I don't want to have a traditional wedding. Instead, me and Juan, we're going to get married in Jamaica after my brother-in-law's wedding. We're going to get married the day after. And I'm like, so does she actually have a brother-in-law? Let's start there. Second of all, did they actually get married? Like, did the brother-in-law get married? Because that will determine when Juan and Robin are supposed to get married. Like, Robin, you really, really, really are just like, extending this lie. Like, I promise you could find a different way or a different reason to stay onto the show. You don't have to cling on to this marriage thing. But imagine though, if she actually does get married to Juan and then we're all looking stupid like, oh fuck, like they actually got married and we were all making jokes about it. And then she comes on to season 8 and that's her whole storyline. Like, look bitches, I got a new ring, bling bling. And she has a huge diamond rock. Imagine, I'll be shocked. So Robin, I'll owe you an apology if it does happen in the future. But for now, we're still gonna make fun of you. Karen in the confessional, she was just like, oh bullshit, it's not gonna happen. There is no wedding. So anyway, back to the whole drama with Giselle and what's her name is Charisse. So then Karen, she was just like, oh, I don't want to talk about it right now. I don't want to talk about it. I really don't want to talk about Charisse, and that's that. Robin, she jumps into the fight, and she was just like, you know what, Karen? I just find it so funny that anytime that we want to hold you to the fire for any type of for any of your behavior, all of a sudden you always have to deflect something. You have to talk about your mother, your husband, your kids. All of that is off limits. You put all of that to guard you from us getting to the actual conversation with you, and ooh, Robin, she does have a point. Karen, she does have a point because, you're so quick to call out Robin on her wedding every 5 seconds. You're so quick to call out Jamal every 5 seconds. But the second anybody has the same energy towards you, all of a sudden there's like, a bunch of guards in front of you. Like, no, you can't talk to me about this. You can't talk to me about this. This is off limits. This is off limits. This is off limits. This is off limits. Hey, Macarena, all right. You know what? One day we're gonna find that we're gonna see you for the real person you are, which is a bullshitter. And I'm like, oh, Robin, look at her trying to get some camera time and actually being in the mix instead of being Giselle's shadow. Like, wow, is it getting hot in here? But no, Robin, you're still full of shit. So that was that. And then she went on to say, oh, Karen, you owe an apology to Charisse for treating her the way you did. Because, I just feel like you're just trying to be mean to her for no reason so you could ice her out of the group. And I'm like, I know. I know this is not coming out of your mouth, Robin, because you and Giselle are doing the same thing to Wendy. Like, you were doing the same thing in Miami. You were being mean to her for no reason to try to ice her out of the group. So now that Karen is doing the same thing, and not even the same thing, she just doesn't want to fuck with Charisse. Now it's a problem that she's doing the same thing. It's just so interesting how they pick and choose what's right and what's wrong. And then, Charisse, she goes on to say, I'm just... a lot of people don't give me credit for, putting this group together because, Karen, if it wasn't for me and somebody accidentally saying that you were sitting at my table, people wouldn't even know of you, Karen. So, I'm the person who put this... I'm the person who put this group together. And Charisse, she just wants her ass kissed for being the one who put the season 1 cast together. That's all she wants. She basically said it like, oh, if it wasn't for me, the Real Housewives of Potomac wouldn't be a thing. And okay, yeah, kudos to you, blah, chop, chop. That's that. Next. Like, if you were good enough for the show, Charisse, you would still be around. Instead, you got the axe earlier in the show, and that's that. Karen was obviously good enough to still be here 7 seasons later, unlike you. So Candiace gets triggered that Robin is telling Karen that she should be the one saying sorry to Charisse for her behavior. So Candiace, she whispers, it's so funny that the person that should be saying sorry for throwing a drink in somebody else's face is not the one doing the apologizing. So of course, Giselle, who's sitting right next to Candiace, she hears that and she whiplashes her head over to Candiace and was like, what did you say? She said, come again? Can you say it louder for everybody else at the table? So Candiace, she repeats it to Mia. She was just like, Mia, I just find it so funny that you haven't apologized to Wendy for throwing a drink in her face. You're not even sorry about it. You haven't even said, I'm sorry to her. Do you not care about that? So Mia, she was just like, I'm not sorry for throwing a drink in Wendy's face. I'm not apologizing for that. And you know what? I'd rather Mia stand in her ground and actually not apologize at all, because if she does, it's going to be a half-assed apology. She's not going to mean it. It's not going to come from the heart. She's not going to realize that she was still wrong in the whole situation. She's probably going to think, oh, well, you know what? I'll give her this apology because it's going to make me look good. But at the end of the day, I was still right in this whole situation. So I'd rather her just come to terms with it later on and realize, oh, you know what? Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I should give a sincere apology to Wendy instead of this fake forced one just because Candiace put me on the spot. So Wendy was like, okay, Candiace, tag me in. Okay, Mia, I'm ready for you. Round 2. So did y'all notice that Karen also got out of her seat just like the first time in Miami? I'm like, Karen, what are you doing? Like, you know how Mia is. She might try to get physical again. So Karen, she gets up and she goes over next to Giselle. So it's just Wendy versus Mia. And I'm like, okay, here we go. So Wendy, she was just like, so you don't feel bad about what you did to me? You know you assaulted me, right? You know that's assault. So Mia, she was just like, how is that assault? I never assaulted you. I never did anything to you. Wendy went on to explain the definition of assault and how it means a physical attack. So she tells Mia, you swung your purse at me. You threw a drink in my face, and then you tried to get physical right after. That's a physical attack, aka a assault. And I just wish that Wendy would have told Mia, spell assault. She would have been sitting there like, I think it starts with an A and then an S. But Mia, she's just sitting there like a sitting duck. Wendy, she went on to say, oh, no, wait a minute, because I got more for you. So she was just like, Mia, so wait a minute. I also want to clear up these rumors that you're insinuating that I said that your husband Gordon is gay just because I said that you and your husband sleep with men and women. And I remember when she said that in that episode specifically a couple of episodes ago. In my review, I was just like, wait a minute, what does Wendy mean by that? But Wendy, she's a commentator. I'm pretty sure that she would not get caught up in her words or tangle up her words to mean something else to the audience. So I'm pretty sure that that's not exactly what she meant. She went on to explain too, like, no, that's not what I meant. Like, you just jumped to conclusions. I was assuming that, your husband sleeps with women and then you sleep with the men. I'm like, okay, Wendy, thank you for clearing that up. And then Mia. Again, Mia didn't know what to do. Obviously, she can't throw another drink in her face. She can't try to get physical for the second time. So, of course, now she has to use her words, and she's losing against Wendy because she doesn't know how to. All she knows how to do is try, throw things in people's faces. So, Mia, what did she resort to? It's 2022 right now. So, are you trying to say that my husband is gay? What's wrong with being gay? And I'm like... Oh, Mia, if I was you, I would have just started making lies up or something to defend myself, because what was that? Nobody's calling your husband gay. Wendy, she had a good point. Yeah, her message may have been a little confusing at first, but she explained it and she owned up to it. She wasn't meaning any harm by that, so I'm not sure what you were getting at. Let's stick to the subject. So Wendy, she went on to say, no. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the actions that you threw a drink in my face. That's what we're really talking about. So then Mia, she goes on to say, okay, well, I'm sorry. Okay, so what's next? I'm sorry. What's next? And again, the whole apology is just a bunch of BS. And Mia, again, you could just tell in her face that she just looks so stupid just in the moment, oh, fuck, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say against Wendy. I said it before, but none of these women, besides maybe Karen, is winning an argument with Wendy when it comes to words. Jacqueline was standing on the side yeah, Wendy, get her again. That is crazy. So then Wendy, she went on to say, oh, we're talking about your judge of character, who you are as a person, Mia, she was just like, okay, so I threw a drink in your face. That's that. I owned up to it. This is me. That's that. So then Wendy, Wendy put the cherry on top and she was just like, exactly. You're a gutter ass bitch. Ooh. Even I felt that. My nipples got hard. I'm like, wow, Wendy, finish her. Mia. Ooh, so Mia, she didn't know what to do. She was sweating. She just took a drink out of something. She was just like, you know what? I don't even have time for this. I'm gonna walk away. So she's getting up, she's walking away. Wendy, she was just like, this is what success looks like. This is what achievements look like. This is success. She's jealous of this. She's jealous of everything that I am. Mia, she goes on to say, okay, I mean, I don't really have to brag about it. Like, why are you bragging about it? And I'm like, but that's exactly what you do. You've been doing it ever since your last season, and this season. That's all you do. You brag about your achievements, your accomplishments, money this, money that, blah, blah, blah. So now it's a problem that Wendy's doing it to you because she's clowning you and she's making you look dumb. So interesting. Whew, I'm telling you, this reunion is about to be a hot mess for her and Robin. So that's that. She walks away embarrassed. Wendy, she gets up, and I just love that it ended with her laughing like, ha 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 ha. All we needed was the lightning in the background, and that would have been like the perfect cherry on top. But that was that, you know. And next week, did y'all see the preview for next week? Robin is coming in hot again with her technology, because first it was her Bluetooth speaker that she stole from her son's room, and now she's coming in with her phone with receipts with this guy that supposedly Karen is sleeping around with. Like, that is crazy, and I wonder what Karen is gonna have to say with that, because I mean, Robin has receipts in her phone allegedly, so we shall see how that turns out. But until then, let me know what you all thought about this episode down in the comments. Bye everybody. Mwah.